Okay, everybody, today we're going to take a look at the holder. We're going to do the 3 views. So make sure you have your packet out. First thing you want to do is determine height, width, and depth, your overall height, width, and depth, which is going to be 4 3/4 for our width, 2 1/4 for our height, and 2 1/4 for our depth. So notice that height and depth are actually the same on this one. They're both 2 1/4. I've started with a new CAD borders. So again, I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to save this in my Google Drive in my CAD 1 folder. And I'm going to save it as holder. Same setup as the last drawing, which was the special key. You're going to start with your construction lines. You're going to start at the bottom left corner, just trying to mirror that red and green line. Again, it doesn't matter how long these lines are. They just have to be long enough so they're bigger than the part. So, 15 is plenty. Just don't make them really, really small. And then what we're going to do is offset. We're going to offset to get our boxes for our top view, which is the missing one, front view, and right side view, using these 3 measurements. So we'll start with the height, which is 2 1/4. So I'm going to offset 2.25, hit enter. All right, so I have my height. Offset, the width is 4.75. Next up is the 1-inch spacing. So offset 1 inch to the right, 1 inch up. And again, where we offset the 1 inch, you'll have a square, a 1-inch square. The upper right corner of that square is where you want to draw in your projection line, the 45-degree miter line. So again, draw it kind of long. It don't make it really small. So 8, that's plenty. Hit tab, 45, enter. And the final offset is going to be for my depth, which is also 2 1/4. So offset 2.25. This one up and this one over. So now I have my 3 boxes set up, my top view, my front view, and my right side view, which is actually going to be a square because it's 2 1/4 both ways. I can double check that just to be safe. Okay, 2 1/4, 2 1/4. I can check here. This is 2 1/4, and this is 4.75. I'm going to use my hatch tool to just shade in the 1-inch spacing so I don't get confused. So I know I can clearly see it on my top front side view. Now we're going to start working on the inside. So maybe we'll start with in this one, I'm going to start with the right side view. I have some 1 1/8 measurements, and it kind of forms like an L shape here, like steps. So I need to offset over 1 1/8, also up 1 1/8. So I'm going to offset 1.125 is 1 1/8. I click this line, I go to the right. I click this line, and I go up. Notice there's the L shape right there. There's my steps. So the right side view is actually done. All right, let's move to the front view. The front view has these uprights. It kind of forms a U shape. The uprights are 1 3/8 wide. So that's my next offset. So O, enter, 1.375, enter. Click this one, go to the right. Click this one, go to the left. So you can kind of see that U shape now. Also, the distance the U shape goes down into the part is 1.5 inches. So I need to offset the top of this down 1.5. So offset 1.5, and I click the top, and I go down. My front view is now finished, other than going over with the visible line. The last thing I need to do is my top view. Now notice I have done nothing with my top view yet, and I already have some of it completed because I offset. If I go back to my drawing here, the top view is missing. So again, I like to kind of shade them in, or in this case, I put X's on what I would see if I was looking straight down on this part. I'm seeing 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this big one right here, 5. So 5 surfaces. So I kind of see 3 things right now. The last thing I need to get is from the right side view, where I offset over 1 1/8 inch, where that intersects with my 45-degree miter line. That's what I need to project over from right here, that intersection point, all the way across to here. My top view is now finished by simply drawing one line. So again, the reason that happened is because I used offset and I kind of did multiple views together. As I was working on the front view, I was also getting the top view. I got my right side view done. I projected this up and over. So it goes really easy if you can use offset, and goes really smooth and quick. Now I just need to go to visible line and trace over this. So I'm going to go draw a line here. I'll go down, all the way over, up, over here. Now here I got to make sure I go to the right line here. It looks like I want to go down 1.5 inches, which would be this one. Over, up, and back over. Also, I have 2 lines here, so I have to figure out which one of these lines I go over. It's going to be the top one here, and the top one here. So again, we're drawing multiple views of this holder. So everything should match up. Those white visible lines I just drew correspond with this. So now I can do my right side view, which is the L shape. 1.1 inches down, 1.1 inches over, 1.1 inches down. And finally, my top view, which I'm going to start with the rectangle tool and just draw the rectangle. And then I can draw my boxes. So a line here, a line here. Now what some people do is they'll draw this line all the way across, but you don't want to do that. You want to draw just to there and draw a second line to here. So if I turn off my construction lines, you can kind of see what we're left with. Now the only thing you'll notice, this right side view, if we were looking at this, we wouldn't know that there's this open space in the middle. So that's where we need to draw a hidden line. And if you look at your plans, you'll notice a hidden line going across right here. So for the hidden line, what we'll do is first I'm going to turn my construction line back on. It's actually already set up. When I offset down that 1.5 inches and got to here, it kind of took care of that for me. So I know exactly where that hidden line needs to go. So I need to switch my layer now to hidden, grab a line, and I'm going to draw a line from here to there. Turn off my construction layer, and my 3 views are now finished. So I'm ready to dimension. But again, notice how everything matches up. This line matches up to here. This matches up to here. The tops match up. This part here matches up to there. The hidden line, if I were to bring it over, matches up to there. So everything relates to each other. It's the same object, 3 different views. So now I'm going to switch to dimension layer, and I'm going to do my dimensions, just like the last drawing. 1.1 inches, I need to put the 2-inch dimension. And these are all linears. There's the 1.5 inch dimension from here to here. Another thing I can do here is I can click this. I can even grab this grip and just move it over so I don't see as much of the green. In the right side view, I need the 1.1 inch measurements. Inch and 1/8. My depth. My height will go here. And finally, my overall width right there. So that completes the 3 views of the holder. Later on, we'll come back and complete the isometric.